Today is the day that many of you have been waiting for, or at least Bruno in the Alexa Discord has been waiting for, because we are back in A Solitaire Mystery, and today we check out Solitairdle. This is a solitaire inspired by Wordle. We are going to be playing solitaire, trying to figure out a 5-letter word using our cards to input our guesses. I have no freaking clue how this works, and I think that it's going to be a mess. So let's play it and see what is going on. That's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards. Okay, read me the rules. And by read me the rules, I mean I'm gonna read the rules. Cards are stacked. Ascending or descending alternating suit, so 4, 3, 2, 3 is valid. Single card can be placed in each of the 5 slots on the right. After this, it can't be removed. Okay, deck contains 104 cards. 4 instances of each of the 26 letters of the English alphabet, sure. Beginning of each deal, a 5-letter word is picked at random as the solution for the solitaire. When the slots on the right are full, the letters in them are read from left to right. Okay, I understand. Then it's normal Wordle. Doesn't exist as red, exists but in the wrong position yellow, in the right spot's green. Guess does not have to be an actual word, but must have at least 1 vowel and 1 consonant. Okay. And Y is counted as a vowel. Once a letter has been marked with red, cards with that letter can no longer be placed on the slots on the right. Okay. Okay, sure. It's interesting. It's very interesting. So, like, the reality is that these Z's are just garbage. Because the odds of Z being a letter is really low. They're not serving any purpose here on the left, so I might as well put them on the right. And we'll lock those in as a guess. Obviously, it's not an incredible guess, but it's a guess, right? Now, I think where my brain goes is I'm looking for letters we have a lot of in here, which is maybe not the correct way to think about this. We also have some, like, actual solitairing that we can do here. But, like, we have a couple W's at this point, and, like, the same colored W. So I think that goes in as well, right? Now we have 2 K's. Both it's the same number but different color, which I think is probably how this goes. Like, this V, I would also love to slip in here. So let's think about this. If I do this, I'm now going to bring in the V, and I'm going to guess the E. And I'm guessing with Z, which is not good, and also none of the letters. But that's knowledge, and it clears up some crappy stuff over here, which I think there's value in doing, because now, I mean, we have some actual, like, plays here. Because now you can move this 11 down. You have an entire 5 stack here. You can't do that. You can't do that because you're not actually correct. Okay. But we could do this, and then we can do this. Now we have a C, which is cool. This 9V is such a useless piece of garbage. I'm gonna put this guy in here at this point. And I'm going to put this guy in here, and I'm gonna put this guy in here. And my idea is that I'm trying to clear up. We're gonna guess one of these O's. We have another one, right? And part of me is like, you might as well run this P as well. I don't know, this might be scary. It's none of them, okay? Now this is really scary, because we have a lot of stuff that is, like, right here at the top of this line. I think that's really bad. I'm gonna drop this down to here, so I can bring this over, which then brings this over. I think that N has to be in here, so we're going to guess it. We know it can't be G, but now I can basically take this entire stack, which is cool. We know it can't be 3. Let's throw this X in here because I hate it. I think that L is a very good guess for us. I think that H is a pretty good guess, and I think that I is a pretty good guess. So we're gonna do that. Yeah, we have an I. Okay, what the hell, brother? What the hell? What could you be? So it could be like quits? Quitey? Now we're just playing Wordle. That's a scary proposition for a guy like myself. Okay, we're gonna move this whole thing, move this whole thing, and move this whole thing. And we're back in a fairly decent position here on the left. This is where I theoretically should be able to come up with the answer, which I hate because I don't have the answer right now. But I would like to have the answer. We can also go 13, bring this over. And that Z13 is an absolutely atrocious one to have. Like, he holds no value to me. R has to be in this. There's no way it's not. So I think that realistically, it could be like TRI. Trick would have been such a nice word, but it definitely isn't. Or how about like QU? That doesn't really work too well. Coiffed? Is that a word? Hold on. Is coiffed a word? Coiffed is likely a misspelling of quaff. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's. It also doesn't have an I in it, so that's gonna be incorrect. Yeah, that's gonna be incorrect. Good. Fitty? Furry? It doesn't have an I in it. Fibby. Okay, we gotta try some stuff, man. We gotta try some stuff. Let's try. You're going to potentially hate this play, but I think it's maybe a good idea. I'm going to use all three of these. I have to use a U here, I think. I may end up backspacing this one because this does not feel correct. This does not feel correct. But this here, this 13 is bad. It's a very useless lad. This 1 also sucks. Yeah. This is not ideal. Is there a 4 anywhere in sight? All the way deep buried inside of there, which is a problem. But we can do something like this, and then this, and then this, and then bring that right back. And then this would go down and would give me my U, which I do think is kind of nice. Can't try the N at this point. But we could drop this onto there. We can't, dude, two V9s is catastrophic is the word that I would use to describe that. I don't actually know where we even go from here if I make a guess at this point. I can't even make a guess. I would have to use this 5, which I actually don't think is a good idea. And obviously roughed is not, one, it's not even a word, so that puts us in a little bit of a sticky position. Okay, yeah, I mean, bro, we're cooked on this one. We're cooked. Back this back up a little. Let's go back to here. This is a sticky one. I really don't think that you want to put down a 7 here. Unless you're laying down these 5, which we straight up can't do. Well, we could, because we could go like this, and then we put this on here, we tried this, and then bring I can't do that because you're the wrong 6. We would do this, this. No, I had this right actually. Because we would go this, this, and then I can't play that guy. I think I have this so incorrect. You go on top of there. You on there, you on there, you on there. Do we like that? I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Now this 13 is still atrocious. As is this 9, actually. The 9 is really bad. You have to do something along these lines. Bring this back. Now you use the 8 here with the 13 down to get the 9 over. We have so many 3s, man. We have so many 3s, and they are so not useful to a guy like myself. Just completely and utterly worthless. And unfortunately, this 10 is also like really not helpful at all. This is a lot harder, I think, than it looked. Because this I really can't do anything with. These 1s I can't really do anything with. I mean, we have 3 3s that are out right now. That's a tough pill to swallow, I think, and I can't put the 9s in. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with a restart. I don't like it. I'm upset about it, but I don't like it. Can you imagine if this was just grout and we just walk away? Five letters and you send it? That would have been so good. It would have been so good. Okay, so TR maybe. We have a double V in here. I would like to get them in immediately because they're horrible. Look at your numbers. 4 looks like it's going to be an issue. You have a double D in here. In some scenarios, a good thing. Not in this scenario, though. I don't like it. I don't like it. We also have a lot of 3s again. We have a lot of 3s and a lot of 4s. Let's throw a Z in. Let's throw an I in. And then the idea here would be to do something like this. And now you have a direction that you can go. I think you need to guess a letter here. Obviously, but you need to guess a letter. Let's do an N. Okay. That's really good. That's really good. So, S, something R. How about train? Train seems very reasonable. Train feels like actually a great guess. So how do we get to train? It's a good question. To be honest with you, it may be way easier than we think. I already have A and I have I right here. I have an R that's kind of buried in here. I have the T over here. I have the same N buried in this row. I think we need to do some nice guessing over here. Just to get some letters out of here. So we can throw this J in. MDJ. I am going to need a vowel. We can go 11, 10, back to 6, back to 7. I need to throw a vowel in. It can be I. So let's do this. We'll throw in I because we know it's in that position. And then we can throw in this W if we want to, but I would really love to get further down on this line here. Okay. This train is still absolutely in the books for us. We move this thing over. I mean, dude, I think you gotta try. You gotta try. So T, R, A. I'm realizing now that I is like hella buried in here. But that doesn't mean this is impossible. We go 12, 11, here's R, here's N. I just need somewhere to put this 9 and we're free, man. Of course, there's not somewhere to put that 9, which is a crime. It's a crime against humanity. Are you kidding me? Literally just need to be able to put that on there. And I have 2 freaking W's instead. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's literally this eye or this eye. And those are the only eyes left in this entire board. So I would need to move this to then do this, to do this, to do this. You know what? I'm just gonna say that I think that we got very lucky. I'm happy being I'm happy winning it. I think we got absurdly lucky with that. I think things fell into place. I guessed the word. I had some decent guesses, and then things just kind of flowed. I think that you are supposed to spend a lot more time, and that is supposed to be a lot more painful than what we had it. But that kind of rocks. That was a good one, man. That was a good one. I like Solitairdle. I'm basically just recording Solitaire Mystery in 15-minute chunks throughout my day today since I can't sit down and I don't have time for like a 45-minute video. So I played Solitairdle like 4 hours ago. Now we're going to try Fork Solitaire, next one in line. In this Solitaire, you only have 2 slots for your cards. So you can fork card stacks to give yourself extra space for maneuvering. A 2-star difficulty. 2-star difficulty, it either means that I'm going to complete it on my first try or it's going to take me like 6 hours. So let's see how it goes. Pile cards of every suit in ascending order on the slots on the right. You can stack cards in descending order of alternating suits. However, you can pick up and move stacks of any size and composition. When holding a stack, you can right-click on another card of the same suit as the one at the top of the stack to combine and fork their stacks. You can't fork a stack that already forks further down the line, and the stack can only fork twice in maximum, but do note this little bit is... Okay, let's just figure it out. We both know that I'm not comprehending the rules anyway, so let's just figure it out. Okay. Ace goes in. Nice. 9 goes on 10. We got this part figured out. It's solitaire, brother. Now it goes to shit. Now it goes to shit. How do we... Let's think about this logically. We want high numbers at the bottom of stacks. So if I pick up this entire thing and I split you there, I can bring this ace over. Now this... I think in theory this looks good, but I actually think in practice this might be terrible because I can't now split. I have to split on like a non-heart or on a club. Like we could split here and then we can split. I mean, I think you actually split here and now you can go ace 2. And then you can start to think about splitting in here again. Which, I mean, I do think that that's cool. I think that's cool. Even this 10-11 or 10-9, I can move to here. 13 seem, I mean, like, just atrocious for us. Okay, yeah, this is messy. This is messy. Because I have to do now, like, some weird hyper stacking on the back here, because those can now go on and then it resolves the stack. You kind of want to just keep on resolving the stack over and over and over, right? Where is the 2 of diamonds? Brother, where's the 2 of diamonds? Am I blind? Oh, is it literally in my hand? Okay. The answer to that question is yes, I am blind. Okay, sure. I mean, stack this here. Let's drop you on. The problem is like this 13 just chilling here. What do you do with it? And I think the answer is you do nothing with it. You use that to further resolve down stacks. Like this 7 now you can use to resolve down this stack. This 7 you use to resolve down this stack. And then, I don't know, I guess you're stuck after that. Okay, I understand it. Let's just try. Let's just try now that we know what we're doing. I think this is really terrible, okay? I think this sucks. Oh, I think this sucks so much. The ace 2 on the bottom is actively terrible. Because now I have to, like, split you here. This is fine, but then I can't put that on there. So I can put, like, a 7-6 there. And then I can split off... No, I mean, brother, this is not doable off the rip. So I can't split you now. It has to be on a diamond. I can't even split the diamond. Okay, I mean, we've murdered that stack. I can't. It's not doable. Not doable. Ace. Now what? Now what? 13. A 13 on the bottom of the stack is a beautiful place. Okay, I think that's good. Now a 2 on the bottom of the stack is really bad. And now I think we're setting ourselves up for the exact same failure here. But I'm going to humor putting a 13 on there. Because maybe there's a planet to where we could mess around with, like, ace on here, 10 on here, 12 on here. Now you have, like, a really interesting foundation, right? And maybe it works, right? Because you can now do this, and then you can do this, and brother, that's a lot of numbers that just went on. Am I cooking all of a sudden? Hold on. Hold on. What the frick? Okay, it's just dissolving. It just, like, immediately resolves itself, which is absurdly cool. Let's keep this up. We can do some stuff here. We can do it. We need the ace, okay? Let's split you up here because you're kind of not great for me. 9 comes over. I would like to get this figured out so we can now go 4, 5, 6 that resolve the stack. 9 goes on, 10 goes on. What the hell, brother? Okay. I can see how this maybe was an easy one. Maybe, or I got very lucky. Okay, so now we can dissolve a stack with this, but I don't really need to dissolve that stack. This side is fine. We need to dissolve stacks over here. So potentially, like, moving this over, and then moving this up. Well, but this is like a little spicy. It's a little spicy. Maybe we just go a kind of peculiar approach, which is if I run the 7, the 7, 8, 9, maybe I can just get an entire suit squared away early. And that could be really cool. So I want to split off. How is this splitting right now? This 13 is on that. Okay. So ideally, we would still want to split off that. But now this entire thing, we can move over to here. And then this entire thing, we can move a little down. Did I gain anything from that? Not really. I mean, we can move the 11 to there, and then you have a 6 you can move to there, and that actually dissolves that stack fairly nicely. But you're still in a bit of a weird state. Because you gotta dissolve this now, and then you have to dissolve down the line a little. So now you can stack in those. And then you have to get the 8 in, which is over here. So let's put that on. That opens up the ability to now... This stack is more dissolved than before. feel like I've said the word dissolve about 15 times. That dissolved that slightly. There he goes again. The dissolving king. We need to get this 6 on something. This 10 is also... This side is actually a bit of a mess right now. Although then that makes this side a mess. What if I bring that further down, right? Then you can go 10 on there, 11 on there. But this 12 is... He's a messy boy. He's a very messy boy. And then you can bring this over, if it'll ever let you. But it's not as good as it sounded, right? It's not as good as it sounded. I need to be able to get... I'm going to tell you that I think that we need to back up to where the 10 went on. Because I need that 10 in order to get the 9 onto it. It's nice having the 13s deeply buried. Don't get it twisted. But it's actually like kind of annoying having them that far in. So now we need to do this so we can get the 2, 3, 4 on. We just need to scale up some of these lanes a little better at first. 10 goes on there. That dissolves a stack. 9 dissolves a stack. 7, 6 is kind of useless. 11, 12 onto there. This 12 dissolves a stack, but it's not very helpful. 12, 13 dissolves a stack. It just pushes it further down. You can move a 6. That allows you to get the 7 on, which dissolves a stack. That's important. I gotta free up the 3, man. The 3 is a very important part of what we're doing. Let's move that. That now frees... Theoretically, I can put something on this line here. So if we do down to the 5, we could go 5. There's a... Okay, I can't see half the cards, brother. Well, the 5 allows me... Let's do it here. The 5 allows me to put that actually straight up on. And then I can put the 10 onto here. But I can't resolve you further. But I could stack this now. And then I can stack this. Move the 10. 11 goes on. 11, 12 goes on. 3 goes on. 12, 13 goes on to there. And I mean, dude, I have to imagine this is breakable. Right? It's gotta be. You put this over here. You stack the 12 on. Now you have a 5, 6, 7. You just gotta get this 7 somewhere. How the hell do we get this 7 somewhere? Where's the 6? You're in here. Okay. Move this here. I need one of these stacks slightly dissolved so I can move this 8 to here, and then the 6 goes on. And if the 6 goes on, that means that the... I need the 4, man. The 4 is far more important than anything else. I need to be able to move this 7, which means I need to be able to move this 5, which means I need a 6, which is very not doable right now. It's so many blue cards. Like that's the issue, is it's way too many blue cards. Let's split that over to there. Then we can split that further down the line, allowing me to split over this to like here. And then You split the 7, 6 back over to here. The 5's now free, but it's not. Because the only 6 that this 5 can go on, I need to be able to get this 9 onto something over here. So this needs to split here. Further up. This further in. Now the 6 can go in. No, you need to do this to get the 8 on. That dissolves that stack. Then you move this entire thing over to get the 4, and now this is going to fall apart, brother. It's gonna fall apart. This comes on. This comes on. And to be honest with you, I think that we could probably... I mean, you can't auto-stack, but it's damn close to auto-stacking. Where's the 9? The 9 is in here. You split you go 9, 8. This stack now splits. I think you got to be like a tiny bit careful with this. Just due to how it resolves these. 11, 10... There's the 8. You now move an entire 13 down. 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12. And then 12, 12. Give me my 13s. Not too bad. Okay, that's not too bad. I will say that I feel like I pulled one string and then the entire thing fell apart. Which I'll take, okay? I'll take that. That's a good solid victory. I'm gonna leave for another 4 hours and I'll come back and I'll do another solitaire later. Now this is definitely a new one for me because it is now 7:30 in the morning, approximately like 18 hours after I first recorded the first solitaire in this video. This video has now basically taken me 18 hours to make, not cumulatively, but you know what I'm saying. What a peculiar world. We're gonna play some Hanoi solitaire to end here. A solitaire where we move cards and stacks around using a logic reminiscent of the classic Towers of Hanoi puzzle. Now, unfortunately, I do not know much about Vietnam or Hanoi as a whole, so I don't actually know what that is. Let's read the rules. That seems smart. Make 4 piles running in descending order from K to A. Okay. You can stack cards and move them in a descending order. For cards with matching suit, the card values don't need to be adjacent, as long as they're in descending order, so 7, 4, 3 is valid. But I guess for non-matching, they have to be... the card values have to be adjacent. Okay. Slots form a 3x2 grid. When moving a card/stack, it moves 1 slot at a time on the grid. You can only move a card/stack onto a slot if the topmost card of that slot has a higher value than the card you're moving or the bottommost of the stack you're moving. Okay. That's a lot of words, but I think I understand this. So, like, this ace right now, I can't put here because it's not the directly after king, but it is smaller than a king, so I can then move it to here. Yeah? I mean, that seems logical to me. This 7 I can move to here. This 10 I can move to here. This ace I can move to here. The 4 I can move to here. But I cannot move the 8-4 back to here because you're not smaller than this 7. Okay. I think that makes sense to me. At least I'll roll with that making sense for now. What I like the idea of, I can't move that because you're not the next lowest on there. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Let's move this to here. Let's move this to here. And then my idea is to basically grab this whole thing. But now this 2 is kind of ugly. I guess I could bring the 2 all the way back around like this, then move a 5. Then I need to move the 6. So I can move the 6 to here and then move this. This seems okay, right? This seems okay. This feels like I have an ounce of a clue what I'm doing. The important thing that we have to kind of do, I think, and this is where it now gets like a little screwy, is as soon as we have aces on the bottom of each stack, it becomes really, really hard to move things. Because now I can't move any of this. In fact, I actually don't think that there's anything I can move. Because I would have to... Yeah, I actually don't think there's anything I can move. I'd have to move this to here. But then I can't move these, right? Unless I go... No, I mean, I actually just straight up cannot move these. Because you've now put me into a position where I can move like this, and then I can move... Well, you're telling me that I can move that over there, but I don't see... Can I wrap around the screen? No, I don't know. I can't move that there. Because I can't go across. It's a valid spot if I could get there, but I can't get there. Okay. Hit me with a restart. I mean, we do the classic start and then restart once we understand things. We want to continue to keep high numbers. But brother, how do you do that? I mean, how do you do that? That's not necessarily an easy proposition. I will say that I think that this is good because our aces are on the bottom of all of this. So there is some reason to believe that we have a halfway decent strategy just inherently from our draw, which happens in this game, unfortunately. I mean, it is random solitaire, right? So let's move this. Like, having a king on this stack right now allows us to basically move whatever we want around here. And in fact, I really love the idea of trying to get a king. Like, even having the queens here, we have some interesting ideas from this. But as soon as we do something like this, we break that nice pipeline. It's a nice pipeline right now. But I do have to break it. I mean, obviously this can move all the way to here, but we can also go straight down from here, which is interesting. So it's not like a counterclockwise clockwise. It's just a 2x3 grid, right? Okay. What if we move... I can't move the queen down there because I guess you can't move of the same thing on a stack. So that is intriguing too. But this whole thing is movable in its current state. Just not to here because this is a 7. So I would have to move like individual pieces around. So like the queen can move to here. But then this 3 is frankly not very good, except that I guess it's kind of okay. We would want to now move like this 3 back over, this 8 back over. We would want to maneuver this 6 down to here. But we need to get this 9-7 out of here. And we can do that like so. Now you need to be able to get the 6 out of here. Because we need to open up a king on this lane, which is absolutely happening. I guess we can do it like this. So now we can move this whole shebang. Which is cool. You can move this whole shebang, this whole shebang. Why are you saying shebang so much? Seems like a silly word for this scenario. But I think that we have a nice setup here. I like this. I like this a lot. This 4 is a little annoying. I mean, we can move this whole thing down to basically move this over to here, this back to here, this back to here, and then move this back to move this down. Yeah. It seemed okay. Okay, it seemed fine. You have a couple of peculiar paths, though, for sure. You can get the 3 over. You can get a king over, and then, I mean, I think, well, the queen... You can move this to here. I can't move that to there yet, though. We'd like to get that king hooked up. But how do you get that king hooked up? I mean, you'd have to open up an empty lane for it, right? And now this is a little cooked over here. It's actually a lot cooked, I think. I think that this is not as good as we maybe expected. We need to move like this jack over, so then you can go 3 on the 6. This king. I gotta somehow maneuver over this 10. So let's do it. But I can't do that. I can't do that because I have to maintain a jack here, unless I can get a red card down here, which yeah is easier said than done. Now you have the queen, so you can bring this 10 around, but you can't do anything with it right now. You can move the 6-4 over. You can't move him down because he's not the same suit. I'm gonna restart. I know that might be a weird restart because I think that we maybe got gifted the god deal, and maybe I should have just backspaced a little bit because I think I put myself into a weird hole. I probably should have kept that one. I should have kept that one. So you can come down to here. I will say that like maneuvering this, I would love to be able to just like click and drag to put them on their spots. It maneuvers kind of weird. See, like this is a really bad start, I think. Says the guy who's played this puzzle literally for like 5 seconds. I think that this is a bad start, and my reasoning is we don't have high cards readily available. I guess we kind of do. We kind of do. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. Now you can go jack, but I can't get the jack over to you yet. I need to move this 6 elsewhere, which means I gotta open up a lane for that. Let's move you here, you here. You can now move the 2 all the way over, and then I can't move the 5 back over yet. And I can't move the 3 over yet. In due time. I can't move the jack up yet. There's a lot of yets in this scenario. 6-5 can move there. 5 to here, 5 to here. 6 back to here. Unfortunately, that 6 does not really help me. This 6 would really help me. But I fear there's not... Well, I suppose if I could bring that entire thing, that would have been sick. But I can't. I cannot. I cannot. I can move this, but then this 3 is just kind of in no man's land, and it's a tough 3 for me. You can put the 5 here, but you can't put the 4 there. You can put the 2 here, and this entire thing, and this, and this, and then this 8 can move to here, which opens up the ability to move the 3, and then we can bring down a king, and we start that line. Do I like starting that line? I think I like starting that line, because now you can maneuver this down, and now you have 6-5-3-2 ace, which is good. It's good. It does need a little bit of work, okay? And by a little bit of work, I'm gonna tell you it needs like a hell of a lot of work. What we need to do is we need to have a king in this slot, because I need to be able to have a like T to navigate cards between the rows. We want to have this always be slightly higher. That, or the higher is in like a king, queen, jack, something like that. Always in a little bit higher position. Move this 5-4 there. Then you can move this entire stack. Which this looks kind of bad, I think. But I believe I'm actually relatively okay with this. Because now you can move the queen to here, bring this whole jack over. And then we don't have a good 5 scenario, but I can do this. And then this. And then that opens up the ability to throw this entire thing up here. Do we like that? I think we like that. I think we like that a lot. Because now we can bring this over and then this up. We are stacking things in order in, like, different sets. Which is maybe terrible, okay? That's maybe terrible. But all things considered, I think that it's not bad, man. As long as we can get stuff in a correct order, I think that is what's going to help us the most here. Because now you can bring this down. You bring over the 7. Except you can't do much there, actually. Let's back that up for a second. I need to get this 5 to here so I can bring over this whole stack. And then we can bring down this stack. Now you bring over this, you bring over this. If we could get a 9 right here, I do like that quite a bit. As well as this. Now you can bring over the 8. And now you can bring over this entire stack onto there. So now you got 3 kings on the bottom. But we definitely want to have this stack be... We don't want you to be a ace at this point. We want you to be a high king, I think. So we bring this back over, this back over. I need to move you back over to here because I need to navigate down the... I can't navigate down the 10, but I can navigate this now. And then I need to put this on here. But I need to be able to get that back. How do I get that back? It means I'd have to get this 10 out of here. How do I get the 10 out of there? You can bring this whole thing. And then this. And then this. How do you get the 10, man? How do you get the 10? I like having the king here. I mean, I think that this is a really good... Having this in the corner, I'm forming the T. So I like the potential there. But I don't have a way to get these blues over to here right now. I think we're close, though. I do think we're close. What if we move... and this is going to look really jank, but we do something like this. And then the idea is... I gotta get these up to that 10. But I need to use the middle as my navigation chamber. It seriously feels like we're really close, which is... I know that sounds weird because it doesn't really look like we are close, but I think we are. I need to move this over, and then this over. And then, like... I don't know. Maybe I don't want to move that over. Where do you go from here? We need to have an open jack on this lane. That's part of the problem is our 10s are like already in position. They're in good positions. How about we move just the 9 so that I can bring this down. And then now with that 10, I need to be able to bring like a 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 ace over. I need to be able to bring the 7 as well, but we couldn't make that happen before. I know you're like, Tyler, you're now breaking up everything. No, don't worry. It's going to be okay, I think. Keyword, I think. You do this. Now you have the jack, which you can bring him back over. And then you can bring the 10 down to there. That allows me to get the 2 ace down here to bring over the 3. I can't bring it back yet. I can bring the 2 ace up. I can bring the 2 over. I can bring the 3 over. I can't get you over there, though. How do I get you over there? 3-2 ace won't do it. 6-5-4 is not going to do it either. I can put you back on here. The aces just like lock your entire area, man. It is really annoying. It's really annoying. I got to get this 3-2 over there. So I have to put down... I have to put down this jack. But then I'd have to get a jack here. Okay, the jack is there. Can I use that? I can use that to get the 2 over. But I can't use it to do anything else unless I can move the 10 down. But I can't move the 10 down because I have the freaking aces again on this lane, which is not where we want them to be. That's the issue, is as soon as you like put an ace on the bottom, you ruin everything. That makes this really, really hard, actually. Because this whole stack is movable. I need to be able to move the queen off of this. Like, I need to be able to move this 10 onto this jack. The problem is I have an entire set of cards in between that. And I need to be able to have the queen there, or the jack here, so I can move the 10 onto it. But I can't. Because the red jack is right here. Well, I can move that. Okay, yeah. So now you move this here. And then that allows me to... I can now maneuver this down, this over, this over. The 3 up, the 4 down. The 7 over, the 6 up. The 7 cannot come down yet. Let's back that up for a second. The 7 has to leave. You're going to move here, and then you're going to move here. That brings down the 7 to here. The 6 comes back. You have a 7 that's deep buried in there, but that's okay. How are we getting this stack of blues over to there? They are on the opposite side of the board. That is not good. That is not good. We need to free up an open slot. We'll move this. We'll move this. We'll get you to here. We scoot you into the corner, and we start basically doing a shift, okay? We start shifting. Get a little shifty with it. This'll work, okay? This'll work. Now you move that guy down. But you have to have an open lane still. So here's now your open lane. This comes down, this comes down. Let's get this all squared away now. 6 comes up, 5-4 comes over, 6 goes over. Now we shift this entire thing, and well, hold on. We shift this entire thing, scoot you over, we scoot you up. We scoot you over, we scoot you down, we scoot you over, we scoot you up. This is totally going to work, okay? This comes over. This comes over, this comes over. We have finally cracked the puzzle, my friends. We have cracked the puzzle. It's all about the loot and frickin' scoot, okay? We just scoot you around to get you into position. Now that you're here, we go 10 down, 8 over, 10 up, jack down, 10 down. Are you done? No, you still got a 9 that's chilling in there. But that's okay. We'll get you. Now we maneuver you again. But this time, for my next trick, we bring you down and you up. We bring you down and you up. Okay. We bring you down to maneuver the stack to there. Bring you back up. This can just come over. Now you need to get the yellows in. We do a little loot and scoot. We maneuver you around. Here's the 9. We bring the 9 over. You come up. We maneuver you down because I got to get this king in the action. King comes down. You come over. We scooch it down. It's a wrap, gamers. It's a wrap. If you didn't realize earlier, it do be a freaking wrap. That was pretty good. That's a fun solitaire, man. That's a fun solitaire. It makes you think, okay? It definitely makes you think. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very good. And thus my 18-hour solitaire mystery video ends. Thank you so much for watching. We got 6 more, man. We got 6 more. That's 2 more episodes. Gonna see what I can do. Hopefully I'll get them done before the end of the year. And we'll put our 100% seal of approval on A Solitaire Mystery. What a great game. What a great game. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.